Since the dawn of time, we've asked one question. What's Travis been up to? He dwells in our collective unconscious. He is a wraith haunting our imaginations. To be graced by his presence is to be graced by the divine. He sang that one Garth Brooks song at graduation back in 1995. He is everything to all people, the myth of the ideal made flesh. Popes and kings count their audience time with him in seconds. We have him for a couple of hours. At long last, ladies and gentlemen, Travis Nelson.
So clearly, I've gotten over my inadequacy about you.
Yes,
Travis.
yes.
It's healthy. I'm getting healthy.
I really do appreciate the intro music. I'm actually thinking about having that as my walk-on music for meetings going forward.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal, and it's good stuff.
Anthony, did you hear? Well, you heard that just now because through the magic of radio or a podcast. The thing I produced about Travis.
Yeah.
Everywhere we go, or everywhere I go, still to this day, 25 years after we've graduated high school, the first words out of anybody's mouth when we go anywhere is, "Hey, what's Travis been up to?"
Yeah, and I don't get. It doesn't go both ways.
No, they don't give two shits about me.
No,
Kinda
absolutely
living in the
not.
shadow.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, when Travis dies, not at my hand, and let's face it, I'll probably die before you.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
if Travis dies before me, I'm gonna sing "Wind Beneath My Wings" at his funeral.
As per my will, last will and testament.
It is written and properly executed.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, this is Cultured Swine Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a minute. We didn't do one this week because I've been under the weather. I finally just went to the damn doctor and I was toughing it out. So you probably heard on the past few where I'm snorting and sniffing, and I'm actually feeling better now, though. I've got the antibiotics in me, and I've been doing a lot of nasal flushing, which
Neti pots?
Sort of, yeah, more or less, which is actually not as hard as I thought it would be.
I can't do it. I've thought about it. I've seen them on the shelf.
It just works. It's just gravity.
Yeah.
But
it's gross gravity.
With us today is my son Anthony, who go ahead and say hi, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony.
Yep. Dan isn't here today. It's football day, so he can't be bothered. But we're all here. I got the great and powerful to steal a quote from Joe Rogan. Travis Nelson's with me.
Thank you, and thanks for having me. I wish I could have gotten here sooner, but living in Milwaukee, it's a problem.
Well, this lets us get the bugs out.
Yeah.
Let us work, because we want this to be the the primo,
yeah.
Because we know there's gonna be a lot of fucking people listening.
Especially with my heavy Facebook presence.
Yeah, with your super social media. But all I have to do is tag you in something,
right? And
everybody goes nuts.
Yeah.
So, so I produced that little thing, and what's funny, Anthony, is I was thinking about it, and like the one that really got me, when you guys were in elementary. I think you were out of elementary, but when the girls were at the Mindoro Elementary School when we lived out there.
Yeah.
I went in to take care of something. I had to sign some paperwork or something, and was it Ruth Paff, Tracy's ma? Is that her name? Was it Ruth?
Yeah. Couldn't pick couldn't figure out a lineup.
Right. Well, she could pick you.
Right.
Because I went into the office and she goes, oh, Gus, I didn't know you were back. How's Travis been? Oh, he was always so talented. Like that was the first things out of her mouth. I'm like, and I was like, oh yeah, that Travis. You know, Travis was voted in the superlatives for our class most talented in the class. And what I find hilarious, it's because they had an awards thing for us in the auditorium of our high school.
Yeah.
So Travis goes up to accept his most talented award underneath a 30-foot sculpture that I did that spans the whole length of the. Yeah. Just this gigantic sculpture I got. Oh, yeah. So back then it was like, Jesus, what's the guy got? I was voted video game whiz.
Right.
So
yeah.
So there's that.
I had I think the appearance of talent. But not so much the follow through or execution.
Well, and I think that what it was what cemented that was when you did sing that Garth Brooks song at graduation, The River.
The River.
But prior to that, because it was our senior year, we did all those videos. Like Travis and I changed the game.
Yeah.
In English class, whenever we would do a book report, you had an option to go with a partner. This is Marla Hanley. Shout out to Marla Hanley.
Shout out to Marla Hanley. She changed the game.
We could do a video based on part of the book that we read. Sort of a scene, a vignette, if you will.
Yeah, you had a choice. You could write a book report, or you could make a film.
Yeah, and most people, if they did the film, it would be like we're doing here, sitting around a table, basically reciting lines from a scene. Mm-hmm. Or if people got fancy, you would have someone walk into the shot on a static,
Right.
Travis and I, and we're really close to Melmin film history.
Right.
We came downtown La Crosse with the video camera. We had Tony Berg as our cameraman, and we started filming. And we did shots from above the parking ramp over here, down onto the street. We choreographed it out. We did up in the stairwell. We did interior and exterior shots. Yep. It was
a chase scene, a full-on chase scene, a little rabbit chasing.
Hound of the Baskervilles.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Special effects shots almost.
Well, I did the Sam Raimi with Courtney Finch. Yeah. R.I.P.
Yep. Yeah.
Courtney Finch.
Shout out to Courtney.
Yeah. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Because it opened with her getting run down by the Hound. And I did the Sam Raimi low shot across ran after her with the camera
through tall grass. And
it was on the cross country trail back in Melmin, and she falls on her back, it screams, and the camera comes right up to her face, and then cuts to black, and then we start our film.
And we added in post growling and sound effects and all that stuff, and
it was
a cast of thousands.
Oh, we had
everybody
from every class was in this. We even had Jean Pellinger did a cameo. She was a student teacher that everybody loved.
Yeah,
and she was a track coach when she got her full-time job, and she just happened to be at a track meet, and Travis and I were out filming. We're like, "Hey, Jean, come do a quick." So she did the producers of this film would like to say that this is not how the book ends, because we just killed everybody.
Yeah. Actually, at Peter Brindley's house.
Yep.
In the kind of the parking.
In the driveway there.
Driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was after, because it was later with the Sherlock bunch. It was so stupid, but it was so awesome. I wish we could redo that now with digital stuff and with because. I would love to have been able to do more jokes that are more like Victorian age appropriate.
Right.
Sherlock sitting around, well, I was retiring this evening with my tincture of cocaine, and because I couldn't get the opium, the yellow bastards were celebrating something. Just do jokes like that. There's no way we could have done that in high school, but
no.
In fact, we snuck in Peter Brindley saying, "Who the hell are you?"
Oh,
because for some reason he made a choice. He made some acting choices.
Yep.
he chose to wrap his head in toilet paper and have a big feather sticking out of the top.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't
No,
remember what it was. Just a
It was very much a yes and environment. It was just
a lot of improv
yeah,
happening.
just whatever you feel like doing.
Yeah.
And that turned into I don't know how involved you were with any of these other ones, but there were at least a dozen.
Oh,
movies.
everybody came to us for
Yeah.
everything.
I filmed or was involved in filming, I think, 4 movies at my house in one evening.
I was there because we
Yeah.
did Bridge Over the River
Yeah,
Kwai, and I was
with-
Charlie Sheen.
With yes, that's right. And my dog was one of the 60 Minutes Morally Safer or something.
Yeah, it was funny because
And
I'm Charlie because I bore a passing resemblance when if I put thick frame glasses on, black glasses, and I had hair, to Charlie Sheen in Major League.
Yep.
So that was the whole gag was we were doing the 60 Minutes. I'm Morley Safer. I'm and then the
Leslie
dog
Stahl.
Leslie Stahl.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'm Charlie Sheen. And then we just
And
that was
it.
that was it.
That was it. And then the rest of it was all He-Man action figures on my mom and dad's kitchen counter.
Well, I did one with Shane Zeman out at his house in North Bend, and it was War of the Worlds.
Oh,
And we actually lit a fire on the top of his tabletop using lighter fluid or alcohol, and it was like just like we legit lit a fire on the tabletop, and then we had his brother and everything, and we filmed it all, and then we edited it right there. You know, we had the video camera in a VHS deck, and you could edit. We got really good at that shit.
Yeah.
Well, so his parents come home, and Shane's like, "Dad, you got to see this." So we're watching the whole movie, and there's the scene where the aliens come through, and they're laying waste to the town, and there's fire everywhere, and then it cuts to their tabletop on fire, and I was like, "What the hell?" He runs over, he's looking. We're like, no, it's fine, because it's not like we did it in a plate
Right.
or anything.
Right on their furniture.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was really good.
Yeah.
We did Julius Caesar out at Nate Christensen's house.
Mhm. There was also another version at Shane's. This was a year or two before at Shane's house. Julius Caesar, where Kenny Cogdill died with his arms and legs sticking straight up in the air,
Yeah.
like a cartoon
Yeah.
dog died.
Uh-huh.
There was also a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes.
At Heather McConnell's house.
Yep, I remember that.
I played at one point the back of Brett Favre. And I couldn't tell my greens and reds from each other. I was colorblind because I was always throwing it to the wrong person.
And Murray was Billy Babish, was something like that?
I think so.
Little yellow tractor. Something like that.
Oh yeah, and all of that.
But you were Jack Nicholson.
I was
too,
Jack
yeah.
Nicholson. Yeah, I was Jack Nicholson in it.
And Heather was Nurse Ratched.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep. Yeah, that's all thanks to Mrs. Hanley, Marla Hanley.
Yeah.
Because she just allowed us to do that.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I
Most-
still talk about that with people today.
Yeah.
Like
I
my
would
high
love-
school allowed us to do this.
I would love to get a copy of that. I wonder if there's one out there
I was
somewhere.
actually just going to ask you if you had a copy.
Shit,
'Cause
no.
I
No.
probably have somewhere in my house, but I
Or
have
maybe
no
she
idea.
does. I would love
Yeah.
to try to digitize that and
Yeah.
get that. But I think we should do like a radio version, like a
Oh, yeah.
do it like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Or we could add sound effects.
Yeah.
But do it like well, Holmes.
Right.
I was down with a prostitute this weekend, and or so just do it. Yeah.
I did years later watch it and realize that I broke not so much character but accent one major time.
Mhm.
It was I'm doing this, and then I just said a line in my normal voice.
Mhm.
I have more pressing matters. That was the line. I couldn't have just thrown a little something in there, a little sauce in there, but no.
Yeah, that was super cool. We out in your barn. Remember,
Yeah.
I was to dream the impossible. We were messing around, and I slipped. And we did an outtake. We had
Yeah.
outtakes
Yeah.
on after the video.
Uh-huh.
It was crazy.
Oh yeah, It was 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, people normally it was like one scene out of a book, and we roll in with okay, now we're gonna do Travis and Gus's. We're gonna need the hour.
Yeah.
Because we'll be doing Q&A afterwards.
In fact, can we move to the screening room, please? Because this is really more of a big screen experience.
Yeah, digital with Dolby surround sound.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we should next time if we can get some time, write up a script.
Yeah.
You know, do like a radio drama, an old timey.
Bring back some of the old cast.
Yeah.
See if they still remember. Yeah.
Kind of like
great.
the original War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I worked over at the radio station, I was always trying to get Ken Cooper to do a radio drama that we would like do it at 2 a.m. on Wisdom or something. You know, break in and have like a War of the Worlds style thing. You know, like aliens landed on Granddad's Bluff or something like that.
Yeah.
Bliss Road is closed right now, and it seems there's a heavy military presence here. And just see. But we could never make it work out. And, frankly, it was a lot of work. But so, what else is new, man?
Just had Christmas at my mom's yesterday. That's why I was doing a little bit of drinking. We always start 12:30 with old fashions. We have a mix that is perfect, but then we ran out of Southern Comfort, so then I switched to the wine, and then kind of got sick of that and went to Captain Coke.
Sure.
We had the traditional Nelson family Christmas dinner, which is oyster stew. Have you ever had oyster stew, Anthony?
No, I don't think I've
Gus?
ever had it. Oysters.
I have, yeah.
Yeah. It's always a joy watching the nieces and nephews, or trying to force the nieces and nephews into eating it. My kids will eat it. They'll eat it up. But my brother's kids and my sister's daughter, who was there, won't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
And then it was ham and au gratin potatoes and all things that my wife can't or chooses not to eat. So her plate actually just went back into the cabinet when it was done, clean, and she had eaten some other stuff and brought her own stuff. But yeah, it was a good time. Just got to see family and got to see my grandma yesterday morning. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's a Norwegian thing or something, because my grandma used to make oyster stew at Christmas. That was her big thing, and I don't know why that would be a Norwegian thing, but
I really don't know. It was just it's I think it's easy and relatively cheap. I was trying to pump my mom for information yesterday about why is this traditional. And she, I don't know, because we've always done it.
We just do it.
Yeah.
Now eat your freaking soup.
Right. We had lefse as well.
Yeah.
We did not do lutefisk. That is a good thing. I always try to make it up for the lutefisk supper. I haven't for about 10 years.
Sure.
They don't try that hard.
No.
Lutefisk is cooked with poison.
Yeah.
And
I think it's cured with poison, and then it's cooked, so the poison is taken out.
Okay.
But the flavor of the poison is still there.
Yes. Yes. All that lovely poison mouthfeel is still present. It tastes like it feels like the stuff that comes out of a can
like
of
Vaseline.
Spam.
It's like Vaseline.
Yeah, you open up a can of Spam and you pour out that little jelly stuff. That's what lutefisk looks and tastes like.
It's fish.
Yeah.
It's cured fish, and it's fish cured in lye.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a Norwegian air quotes delicacy.
Yeah.
And the old timers just
they put it. They'll take their whole plate. I'm thinking like teaspoon, and then mashed potatoes and gravy and meatballs and all the other stuff. They're eating an entire plate of this.
I think of like Rick and Morty when he's like, no, Morty, you gotta wait for the slow ramp. Really gets their dicks hard. That's how the lutefisk is for the old Norwegians.
Right.
They're just it's better than Viagra for those guys. Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm moving a little slower today too, just because I had some Irish whiskey last night. By some, I mean a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but this we're drinking Miller High Life. the champagne of beers.
Yeah.
Which is it's not bad.
No.
I know you don't go in for the fancy beer, so
No,
that's
and I
why
appreciate that. When you texted me this morning asking if I was going to have a beer or two, I was worried because I don't. I prefer Bud Light and actually Coors Light more recently.
Sure.
And I'm sure I've told you this story, but I went to a brewery tour in Milwaukee, and they do the tour, and it's really cool and funny, and they do all the things, and then they let you drink for a little while.
Yeah.
And I walked up to the guy. I said, "What's the closest thing you have to Bud Light?" And he said, "Well, we have tap water."
Yeah.
And I walked right into it, but
Yeah.
I like what I like, and
No, I don't fault you for that at all.
Yeah.
I'll drink whatever, whenever, obviously because I have a problem.
Sure.
But that's but the no, like you said, you like what you like. In fact, I had Eric here from Turtle Stack.
Yeah.
And we did that, and we talked about that a little
Mhm.
bit. That it's like, and yeah, the cool hipster thing to say is, yeah, we have fucking tap water, but
Right.
it's like, dude, just help me out. Do you want me to spend my money here or not?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and whatever.
Yeah. I worst case Spotted Cow.
Mhm.
I mean, I like Spotted Cow. It's just
Yeah.
fine, but I don't like headaches. I don't like beer that you can stand a pencil up in. Dark beer doesn't.
I've got some super dark shit in the fridge right over
Yeah.
there. Yeah, it's
Good.
a little dark for me even.
Yeah.
But it was given to me. So
Sure. Yeah.
But that leads me to I need to mention our sponsor. I forgot to do that at the top. Normally I get my beverages from over there, but I was stupid and I forgot this time around. But not that you would have enjoyed it anyway.
No.
Actually, they do have some domestics just for guys like you. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously,
Right.
you're there out on a date night. Just have some Bud Light on hand. Anyway, it's Christo's Taverna right over there on 3rd Street. This will air, or this will hit the interwebs prior to Christmas. So if you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet, head on over to Christo's Taverna and that Forum Place on 3rd Street. Robbie has all kinds of cool stuff for gifts, stocking stuffers, large and small. Not just for the gals, but for the guys too. Everything over there is imported, and it's really cool. So go check it out, and maybe say that the Cultured Swine sent you if you hear this. She's probably not going to give you any discount for that, but it's nice to be known that you're listening. So
What was that box of wine that we had? I got it as a box. But
Radio Boca
Radio
Tempranillo.
Boca. Oh,
She doesn't have that anymore because
Oh.
that was but Kristen and I drink that
Yeah.
on the regular now.
Oh,
I mean, you can get bottles of it still.
Okay.
And
that stuff is
yeah.
great. My
Yeah,
wife loved it. I
Spanish
loved it.
Tempranillo.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep, that's Kristen's go-to.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
This-
just recently started up. Well, not really started up again. I never really liked gin,
mm,
but I'm a whore for pop culture and Ryan Reynolds
the aviation gin.
aviation gin. So I bought a bottle of that, and I don't like tonic water, but I bought
Mhm.
some of that, and I had a couple gin and tonics, and they were delicious.
Yeah, the two of them are a magical combination.
Yeah.
That's my summer drink is
Yeah.
G&T's.
Yeah, it was
A little
was
bit of
amazing.
lime, throw a squirt of lime in
Didn't
there.
even do that.
No?
I wanted it straight. When I bought it, my wife said, "Well," I said, "I don't even know what to make besides gin and tonic."
Mhm.
And she said, "Well, what about a gin martini?" I said, "Well, I don't even know that I like gin, so having it in a martini where basically it's a drop of one other thing and then it's just straight gin."
Yeah.
Nah.
I like my martinis up, so it's basically just a cold glass of liquor.
Right.
So there's
Right.
I don't even put vermouth or
Yeah.
anything, but I love a good gin martini.
You
Nice
keep the
and
vermouth
ice
in
and
the
cold.
same cabinet as
Yeah.
the glass to get just enough in there.
When I turned 7 years old, I spent my birthday in California with my grandmother. She lived in Northridge, and the folks were moving, and they didn't want me underfoot, so they shipped me off to L.A. to stay with my grandma for, I think it was close to 3 weeks, three or 4 weeks. So I did the whole we did Universal and Disneyland and all that stuff. Well, Grandma loved her vodka martinis, so every night, and she realized she had a little servant boy, a 6-year-old servant boy, And she taught me how to make a vodka martini at 6 years old. And she goes, now this is the important part. You get the vermouth and you set it next to the glass and you say vermouth. And then you're done. That's all you need to do. So, and I thought that was a real thing. I'm a 6-year-old kid. So I go, Gus, another martini. Okay, Grandma. Downstairs, and I'm shaking it and vermouth. And then run back upstairs with the martini. Throw a little. I think she liked them with olives or onions. She had the little cocktail onions and stuff too. I like a gin martini with a twist. It's my jam.
I recently bought some pickled mushrooms. They're good by themselves, and I'm trying to find a drink that I can put them in that.
Martini be a good one.
Yeah.
I think don't people put those in? I remember when I was bartending, like some old codger would come in and order something weird.
Yeah.
It's like a Manhattan with a mushroom. You got any mushrooms back there? Like, not the pickled kind, but
Not the kind you're looking for,
Yeah.
sir, but
you want to take a trip, buddy. But no, I know you could put them in martinis.
yeah.
And,
Like I said, though, they are delicious by themselves.
Yeah.
And I have a jar about a foot tall, and I'm probably going to eat them all just by itself.
yeah. Well, cool. How's the job going?
It's going well. It's not quite it's not what I signed up for exactly. I thought it was going to be a lot more of a construction lean to it. I still do a little bit of construction project management, but it's a lot of meetings and non-construction projects.
You work at a hospital, right?
I work for a hospital system, Freighter Health down in Milwaukee.
So, why would you think that?
Oh well, we're expanding.
Okay.
My first project that I was involved with was a surgery center that was added on to a hospital.
Okay.
Ambulatory
I
surgery
get
center.
it.
So I was involved with getting that up and running and stuff. And it's not even when I say construction, it's not like I'm out there with a hard hat every day. I actually do the things that allow them to perform surgery once the building is built.
Okay.
I don't make sure that the building gets built. Somebody else does that, but I'm there, making sure that they get their credentialing taken care of, making sure
okay.
that all that stuff.
So it has to have make sure that all the inspections happen correctly and the
make sure Medicare
certifications,
is
all that.
all certified and all that stuff. Yeah. And honestly, I don't do all of those things. I make sure that other people do all of those things.
Sure.
As a
You're a
project
manager.
Yeah. I manage the project and they do the stuff.
Yeah.
So.
As a good manager should.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we got big things. I don't know if you saw any of my posts, but we've just opened a new branch over here. Addis Global Imports.
Oh yeah. I've heard you talking about it.
That's on the whiteboard back there. I've been workshopping a logo design. Aris, that's the Greek spelling of the god of war. So
Sure.
obviously, international trade is the. But Greg is everything is Aris with him. He's got the soccer club named Aris and everything. So he insisted, since he's our contact in Greece, that we call it that. So,
Sure.
but I like it. It's pretty cool. So.
Yeah. And I've heard you talking about the trips to Greece as well.
Yep, the
That-
wine trips that'll be
yeah.
coming up soon.
I really we just took a cruise, so the idea of another week or so away from the kids, sounds great. Not in the cards for a couple years, so I hope that that continues, because we're definitely we went to Greece for our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And we want to go back in the worst way.
Well, this is northern Greece, Thessaloniki, which is the second largest city in Greece, and it's what used to be Macedonia up there, and they have a huge wine production and rice production, which I didn't know, both of which are what we're going to be importing, rice and wine. And they have these really cool, one of the agenda stops on the trip are these monasteries. And they're like on top of mountains. It looks like something out of Star Wars, like like these crazy buildings perched high atop these ancient, rocky crags, and they have the the monks and shit in there that make wine and they make beer, and it's it's a monastery.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful, and that's part of the trip. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
But
We went to Santorini was one of the places.
Sure.
And we had the option of either taking a donkey ride up the hill or a cable car. We opted for the donkey ride, and I've never been more afraid for my life.
Yeah.
Because the donkeys would get right to the edge every time. That's where their food source was.
sure.
So, and I'm sorry, I'm indicating with my hands, but that's where the food source was. So we were right on the edge of this sheer cliff almost the entire time.
Hmm. So you could say it was sheer terror.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my god!
But I think it was $5 to go up the hill, and then we decided to just walk back down, and donkey shit just everywhere.
Yeah.
So it was fun both ways, both up and down was fun.
Yeah. Well, if my life has any meaning, it's always trust the donkey.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they know.
I mean, anybody that knows me, I mean, I say that like 5 or 6 times a day. Trust the donkey.
And having, I know that you've spent some time in Tijuana, so
Dude, I've been there many times and I've never seen even advertised. I
No?
mean, I think you got to know a guy.
yeah.
And
I've never been.
And now that's not to say we didn't ask. I
Sure.
mean, not that I wanted to see the donkey show,
Mhm.
but you want to know that it's there. Is it true?
Right.
And nobody would ever, fess up or
Yeah.
say, no, they're obviously cops.
Yeah.
No, they're not Mexican cops. They were probably in the donkey show. We got shook down. We got shook down by a Mexican cop in Tijuana one time. It was awful. He was such a dick. There was like 7 of us, and we just got there on Revolution Avenue. It's the main drag. We go there, and there's a huge bridge that goes from. So right when you get through the border, there's this huge courtyard kind of thing, and there's a bunch of bars, and we stopped, and obligatory, you buy a bucket of Coronas, and 10 beers and 10 shots for $10 or something like that. It was like that cheap as soon as you cross the border.
Sure.
And that was the touristy thing. You get all the beers, do the tequila shots, and then now you're just buzzing hard. Well, we didn't want to just stay there because we could tell this was going to turn into a long day if we just stayed right in the same spot. So the beers, everybody just stuffed in their pockets, and off we went. Not open or anything. Well, we go to cross this bridge over Revolution to get to the main drag of where all the bars and clubs were. And there's a cop sitting there, like straight out of Central Casting. He's wearing a khaki-colored uniform, big, like, leather bandolier belt with a 6-shooter on it. And he's leaning up against the railing of the bridge, smoking a cigarette. He's got the aviator glasses on, this big Pancho Villa mustache. And he's, oh, stop, you got beers. Like, yeah, we got beers, and we're heading that way. Woo, DJ. He's like, no, you got to go to jail. Like, what? Jail? No, man, you got to go to, you can't be walking around beers. And LaFaus, you remember LaFaus?
Sure, yeah.
LaFaus goes, I got this. So he pulls out his wallet, and his dad is a retired New York City policeman. And he's got a family courtesy card, and he shows it to this Mexican cop, a New York City family. And he looks at it, he goes, that's great. Going to jail. So we were my other friend Kevin, who was with me from our squadron, Kevin Neal. He goes, he's like, no, guys. He goes, how much? So he looks at the guy. How much is this going to cost us? So, no. Like he was like clutching his pearls.
Sure.
That we would dare suggest that he was on the take. And Kevin's like, come on, just we've got things to do. The sun is still up.
Right.
At this point, we got there like at 2 in the afternoon. And you could tell he was agonizing over this, the moral quandary this police officer was going through. $40. So Kevin
Really?
pulls out
40?
Well, Kevin
40.
pulls out 40 and hands it to him. He's like, "Can we go?" He's like, "No, each." So 7 times 40.
No, yeah.
He cleaned up that afternoon. So
Good payday.
Oh, we were mad. I was so mad because I was already buzzing pretty hard, and I didn't want to. I was like, this indignity will not stand. What can we do? And they're like, nothing, man. Did you see him talk on the radio before he talked? I mean, there's probably let's get out of here before more cops show up.
Sure.
So we go out. We stop at a couple bars, and as we're walking past the same area, we see him, and there he is standing with like 4 hookers. The cop, and he's sitting there, and it was almost like a tip of the cap. Like he looks at us, and he's holding a beer. The asshole, standing there with 4 hookers. He holds up the beer like a cheers to you, my friends.
Oh.
The founder of the feast. You guys, this is because of you.
Yeah.
So,
Did he confiscate the beer?
no,
Okay.
of course not.
That would have just been insult to injury
Yeah,
if he was
right.
holding one of your beers.
Right?
Yeah.
But that was my let's just shotgun these beers right here. Fuck that guy. And they're like, no, dude. Then we will go to Mexican jail, and I don't
Right.
want to go to, TJ Mexican jail.
Right.
So, so, I guess the moral of the story is, go to TJ, man. You get great
yeah.
stories. out of
Always
it.
and always trust the donkey.
Yep, always trust the donkey. Which, again, I never saw any evidence of a donkey.
Yeah.
No, there was no donkey.
Yeah. No, I don't have any really great drunken foreign land stories.
Yeah.
I've pretty much stuck in the Wisconsin area. I have some unfortunate drunken lacrosse stories.
Too bad Dan's not here. You guys could compare notes.
Yeah, yeah. One almost ruined Christmas. I woke up. I went to the bar with some friends. Woke up. I went to the bar with some friends. Went back to their house. Fell asleep. I woke up, unbeknownst to me. Woke up and walked halfway across the city of La Crosse, looking for my girlfriend, who arguably did not exist.
Sure.
Recognized her house, and I remember this part. I remember thinking, they don't use the front door. I should go knock on the back door because that's how they get in the house. So I went in, went and knocked on the back door. About 10 minutes go by, and suddenly, red and blue lights everywhere. And I was just at some poor old lady's house knocking on her back door at 1 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't my finest hour. There was, but the officer who took me to the police station, again, it was about December 23rd, 22nd.
Were you underage at this time
I
still?
was. No, I don't remember. I can't remember. But he drove me there, and it was just a scare tactic.
Sure.
But he had me in the parking lot. He calls on the radio.
Charge you $40 and
Right.
make you leave.
No, he turns around and he said, "You know where you're staying tonight?" I said, "Yeah," and I remembered the address because it was 911 was
Oh.
the address. So, yeah, I remembered that. And I said, "Well, you're in luck. There's no room at the inn."
But
Yeah, exactly. So
finally, a funny policeman.
Yes, yes. So he calls the owners of the house that I was staying in, and when they had gotten back from the bars, I was asleep on the couch. So this happened after they got back from the bars. Is there a Travis Nelson staying there? Yes, he's out in the living room. Well, no, I have him here with me. No, he's out. Hold on a second. Oh shit, where's Travis? So I was brought back and
That's
handed
hilarious.
over.
Yeah, I remember coming home. I don't know if I had quit art school at this point or if I was just home for vacation at one point. But I had gone to a party with you in Winona, and I woke up in a dorm room at UWL. And it was just somebody's room.
Mhm.
And I wake up and there's these guys sitting there playing video games. They're like, "Hey, you're awake." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Yeah, you just came in last night, laid down on the beanbag and went to sleep." And they were like cool dudes. Like, you didn't know them? Whoever we had, because we had come over here and went to a party, which all of this I don't remember.
Yeah.
But we went to a party at a house, and then we went to some place on campus and got split up.
I think I remember the night.
Yeah.
was there a porch
Yes.
at the party?
Well, at one point, yeah.
Yeah.
So we were playing float the boat at this
Okay.
party. They had a keg there, and you put the cup in the pitcher, or sink the boat. That
Okay.
was it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, those were fun times.
Yeah. That was my first time trying to get high. First of 3, and none of them were successful.
Sure,
And I've just established, at least in my own mind, that I'm immune.
sure.
But they were passing around a water bong, and we were all in a circle, and it was going to be my turn soon, and I had never done anything like it. So I'm watching everybody, making sure taking mental notes, and it finally gets to me, and I do all the things that they did, hold the lighter to it and whatever, and clear it. That's a thing, right? Okay. And these career pot smokers are watching me do this, and their eyes are getting huge. Like, oh my God, that's the biggest hit I've ever seen, or biggest what do you call it?
A bong rip.
Yeah. Biggest I've ever seen. Oh, he's going to be so messed up. And I remember thinking, all right, cool. So when's this going to start? And nothing. It never. I was already drunk. Probably had a big impact, but never hit me.
I'm very dubious of your claims to be immune to marijuana. So
I know, and I have to say this. I say this anytime I tell this story.
you got it from Pete Brindley's dad.
No, well, that. But this is not a challenge.
No.
So anyone listening who's, I got some stuff. No.
Well, guess what you've been drinking, Travis?
Yay.
So I was thinking the other day about I don't have a ton of close friends.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I categorize a close friend is somebody that I would, outside of immediate family, if I would attend their funeral.
Sure.
And like drop everything to attend that person's funeral.
Yeah.
So I would say you are one of those people on my
sure.
list. I think
Likewise.
I think I only have like 1 or 2 other people that are on that list. I mean, really, where I would drop everything to go to their funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about how we met the first time. I mean, outside of school, when you came to my house in Mindoro.
Yeah. So that has occurred to me recently.
How bad it could have gone.
Oh, I would not be doing this podcast today. You might be doing it from a prison cell. So when you lived in the house
in Mindoro,
right in Mindoro, you had brought a yo-yo to school, and that was an immediate, just fast friends. And a year or 2 went by. I think we must have been driving, because nobody took us to your house. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. But he was giving the tour of the house, and upstairs there's this kind of long attic.
It was
room.
like a half-finished attic.
Yeah. And Gus says, yeah, and through that door is a little space that I'm gonna do something with or whatever. He just was piquing my interest. So I walked across this long attic room, opened up the door, and there's nothing in there.
Just a window at the end.
Just a window at the end of this room. And I turn around, and there is Gus holding a butcher knife, his head down, his eyes looking up, like just straight out of a horror movie. And he's brandishing this knife. And for a second, my heart stopped, because I realized I don't know this guy that well.
He just moved from Texas.
Yeah. Why did he move? Did he have to move? And then I think later, obviously he didn't murder me.
Mm-hmm.
But later that day, I was
In a
laying on his hammock, and he still, for some reason, had the butcher knife. And he just took the knife and, in one motion, cut the rope, dropping me to the ground.
Here's how I remember that.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to cut it, because what it was this. I had found this old, like, cheap butcher, like something like a Walmart butcher knife or something, and I had been using it to cut stuff in the backyard with it, and it was dull as hell. I mean, it was really dull. So I thought I was going to just scare Travis, and it would bounce right off of the rope, like ha ha ha, and then whatever. Well, it didn't. It because it was under pressure.
Yeah.
And it hit it, and I mean, just snapped it clean, and down goes Travis. He's like, "What the hell?" And I thought it was funny.
Oh yeah, yeah. And as
But,
soon as my head stopped pulsing, I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty funny too.
But we must have hung out more before
Oh,
then,
I'm-
or
I'm
after
sure we
that,
did. It
because
was
I remember
just-
going to like a movie with you one time,
Yeah.
and like spilling Skittles down the because we were back at the Carmike
Yep.
theater. It was a little one. I can't remember what we saw. Was it like Jim Carrey movie or something like that?
The mask or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the
The Skittles rolling
yeah.
down the
and your
incline.
mom took us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good old Mary. How's Mary doing?
She's doing well.
Yeah.
She's retired now officially. She was retired shortly after my dad passed away, and then was bored. So
Yeah.
she went back 1 week or one day a week. She worked for the sheriff's department in Black River Falls, and great group of people that
Isn't-
she worked with.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Isn't Jeremy Eisensee the sheriff?
I think he
there
is.
now.
Yes, because or he's a cop there. I don't know if he's the sheriff.
I want to say he's like,
He might be.
yeah.
Because a couple years ago I was at a party where we were having jousting matches. I wasn't actually doing any of this, but they were having jousting matches with lawnmowers because that's what you do
Yeah.
when you're drinking, and this wasn't an off the cuff thing. This was planned. Jousting matches with lawnmowers in the city of Black River Falls, but kind of a side street up a hill and whatever. And Joe Murray, he was up, he jousted, and he kept going and went down the hill, and then suddenly he's driving this lawnmower with a trailer, and I believe he had a 12-pack box over his head as armor.
As one does.
Yes, and he goes down the hill, and now he's suddenly driving this thing on the street. And then the cop comes up, and I believe it was Jeremy Eisensee.
Yeah. As of October 13th of this year, he was chief of police
Yeah, well,
and criminal investigation.
that's fantastic. But yeah, she always enjoyed it there, and they take care of her very well.
Yeah.
She when she went to 1 day a week, they said, okay, it's up to you what day you want to work, but if it's like a Thursday, let's say it's going to be Thursday, but if it's not going to be Thursday, call us, let us know.
Sure.
Otherwise, we're going to send a car out and just check on you. And she lives 20 minutes away, so
Yeah.
they were going to kill an hour, just go see how Mary's doing.
Sure.
So, but yeah, she's officially now completely retired, and she's got a little dog, and just kind of does
Hanging out
does her
out there,
thing.
huh?
Yep.
Still out on the farm?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was kind of funny. So yesterday, as I mentioned, we had Christmas. She had all of her Christmas decorations out, and she was seriously considering just leaving them in the box by the bottom of the stairs and not actually decorating, and just saying, everybody, I don't want to go through the time, so just take a look in the box, and there's your Christmas decorations.
Poke through it.
Yeah. You can put something up if you want, but otherwise it's just going to stay in the box.
We went like 2 weeks ago and bought a tree, and I set it up in the stand and put the water in it, and there it sat undecorated for like a week and a half. Just a tree in the living room. I'm like, well, Christ, we got like a week until Christmas.
Right.
We might as well. So
Yeah.
I think everybody was working, so I decorated it.
Yeah.
But like the box is still right next to the tree and
Sure.
everything. It's the room's a wreck.
Right.
But hey, the tree is decorated. And
Yeah. We did a real tree a couple years ago. Otherwise, we've just done the fake ones.
Sure.
It's just so much less hassle.
Uh-huh.
It's not really Christmassy, but I'm okay with
Kristen really likes real trees, and
Yeah.
it's a thing with her. That's fine because it's her birthday too,
Oh,
and all
sure.
that stuff. Well, the first few years we were married, like we literally couldn't, we didn't have two nickels to rub together, so we would make a Christmas tree. That was like our tradition for our first like 5 or 6 years, and we would always do it out of something different. Like I found a roll of ribbon with wire in it.
it. Okay.
And I made like a spiral on a dowel rod, and it looked like a Christmas tree. So I put some lights on it, and that was our tree our first year. And then the next year we made like a stack of books that looked like a
nice.
Christmas tree. And we always found some new interesting one. And then finally, when we had some money, we didn't have to make our Christmas trees.
Right.
We started getting we had a fake one for a while.
Yeah.
But now we do the real just because she likes that. What was kind of fun one year, we went out and cut one, which was,
Yeah.
I mean, it seems a lot funner on paper
Right.
than it does, crawling up a mountain
Yeah.
to cut down a tree.
It's kind of like demoing a house.
Mhm.
It looks so much fun on TV. It looks
Yeah.
like so much fun on TV, and it's fun for 5 minutes,
Right.
and then you got to keep going. You
Yeah.
got to do it all day.
You think of like it's Chip and Joanna from
Yeah.
that one thing,
Yeah.
and then where that guy knocks out one wall, then goes to his trailer,
Yeah,
and all the guys he got from Home Depot, or
Right.
they were, just
absolutely.
yeah,
We always or usually have the fake tree, and we have one now downstairs for the kids. That is the just hodgepodge of. It's all the ornaments that they've made, the ornaments
sure.
from my childhood, from Kate's childhood, and then the one upstairs is, I call it the classy one. It's
Sure.
all kind of a theme to it.
Yeah.
It looks okay. It'd be good for a picture.
yeah.
Doesn't look like it was just vomited on.
Well, we have all the ones like from when the kids were. We
Sure.
use those in
Yeah,
our real one because
Yeah.
that's kind of we think it's kind of the point.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely. And yeah, we have just the two now because we had one that had lights on it,
Mm.
and then the light stopped working. So I took the time. I don't know why, but I took the time and removed the lights.
Uh-huh.
It was an awful experience. But then that one goes downstairs now, and the
Sure.
kids can play with that and do what they want. And if
Yeah.
it tips over, that's fine.
On one of the children.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
They'll,
Weighs
they'll,
like
they'll,
a pound.
they'll figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. What else is?
Well, the kids are doing well. I've got 3, 5, 8, and 11. The 5-year-old has started drawing like crazy, and he's picking up these techniques that I was never that good at all.
Despite being voted most
Right,
most
right,
talented.
right.
Yeah.
And he's doing the sketching. Where if he's drawing a circle, he isn't just drawing the circle; he's sketching the circle.
That's cool.
He's 5, and he's doing this.
Nice.
There's a picture of an elephant that he did recently from memory.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. And he just has this natural talent. I don't know.
I think Maggie got that from me. She seems to be the most. I mean, you've got a little talent for drawing a little bit, Anthony.
It takes a while to
Yeah.
draw something. It takes a while to draw something decent for me, but Maggie, she can just sketch up something quick.
Yeah.
And
So she did that painting there. It's a little. I mean, that I did some crazy stuff, and that one you brought me today, the Jim Morrison one.
Sure.
I remember you looked at it the first time and go, with the skulls. I remember.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she did that, and then she did that little spaceman there. The balloon is the moon, which is pretty cool. But she's been getting into tarot cards. Like she paints and draws tarot cards now, and she does some really cool ones. Like really, really neat.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, whether it turns into anything or not.
Sure.
But yeah, she's pretty talented.
Yeah.
she's doing one, Death 13 for me,
Mm-hmm.
because that's like my favorite looking one.
Yeah.
And that's probably my favorite
I think she sent me a picture of that sketch.
Yeah.
It's kind of looking up at it with the scythe and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. My middle son likes. I wouldn't say he likes comic books. He likes the children's version of comic books.
Sure.
What is the? It's a. On Captain Underpants. That
Mhm.
kind of thing. And he's got his own comic that he and a friend work on. Midget Boy, I think. And he's Midget Boy, and there's Midget Kid and Midget Girl. And
Well, he's canceled.
right. And then my daughter likes to read and write. And she writes, and has for years. She writes plays and books,
Cool.
and she has. it's all stream of consciousness. It is. She doesn't outline anything.
Yeah.
She basically staples together a random number of pages, and that's how long the book is going to be. And she will keep writing until she's done.
That's funny. I used to do that when I was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
I would also put together newsletters. I loved like joke newsletters. I know
Sure.
the church we went to.
Yeah.
As a kid, me and another kid, we would put together almost like a lampoon
Yeah.
newsletter of the church. They didn't go over too well.
No.
But we had this one lady there though. She was you could tell she wasn't all in of the craziness. And she thought they were hilarious. Her name was Linda Brummel. She's dead now. She died in a car wreck, which would suck. But
Yeah.
she always would buy it because we would put like 25 cents on the cover price, and she would always buy them from us.
Sure.
So we were like little newspaper magnets. And
Yeah.
anytime y'all get a new one, you be sure to bring it to me. So
That's your quarter right here.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I wrote Peter and the Haunted House like in 3rd grade.
sure.
Just an illustrated story.
Mhm.
It stole a lot from Spider-Man with the thing on the shelf that you turn it and the door opens. It was a secret.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
that's
that
right.
kinda
Because
thing.
the Super Friends
Yeah.
Spider-Man had a secret lair.
Right.
That's right.
And then what was that Thomas Jefferson Poor something almanac?
Poor Richard's all.
Poor Richard's,
yeah. And I had a Poor Richard's almanac of jokes or something like that. And it was just all plagiarized jokes
Sure.
that I stole from other joke books that I got.
Yeah.
Because I didn't get, when we had the book order day or the book order form,
Yeah.
I never got, chapter books or anything. It was always, I got a Garfield book
Uh-huh.
and then I got some kind of a joke book.
That's what I would always
Yeah.
do, or like the movie and like the pictures from Batman
Sure.
or Star Wars
Yeah.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Fun fact: this was shot in Tunisia.
Right.
Or something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But oh, excuse me. That's a good high life
That's
right
a
there.
good champagne right there.
Good champagne and beers.
Mhm.
What was I? First thing, I can never remember your youngest kid's name.
Luke.
Luke. God damn. I'd always joke because I like it's become I don't know why I can't ever remember that. It's it's Adelaide, Jack, and Zebulon. I always say Zebulon.
Well, and my wife argues against this, but I was somewhat serious about it. We almost named him Luke Skywalker Nelson.
Oh yeah.
I really pushed for it, and I had hand in it because his middle name is Michael, which is my middle name. So I could have taken that capital, that political capital of, well, we're naming him after me. I'm going to give that away and in favor of Skywalker.
Yeah.
That she argued that while Luke Skywalker might not, nobody might know who that is 20 years from now. People will know.
Yeah. Current #1 box office,
Yes,
Rise
yes,
of Skywalker.
yes,
Imagine
yeah.
how cool that kid would be at school
Oh,
right now.
Yeah. And
So Kate really dropped the ball
yeah,
on that one.
Yes. And he would have been accused of lying
Yeah.
constantly. No, that's not by teachers.
Yeah.
Not just kids. Teachers. No, that's not
There's
your
no
real
way
middle
your
name.
parents could be that stupid.
I mean, cool. No, stupid. Yeah.
I tried to sneak it past Kristen. I wanted to name him after the Simpsons kids. So I knew
Oh.
that Anthony was going to be a boy.
Yeah.
And I just kept, how about maybe an older name? How about like Bartholomew? And she was like, I don't know. Really? Bartholomew? I mean, I guess, because like in her family, like all of her relatives or all of her brothers and sisters, most of them name their kids like these old, like Ezekiel,
Sure,
and,
yeah.
Zebediah or whatever. I don't know, Zebediah is not one, but they like these old timey names. So I'm like, yeah, Bartholomew, that's a good strong name.
Yeah.
Well, I got Maggie. 'Cause
Yeah.
that was a Magdalena, so I call her Maggie. And God, I pushed for Lisa with Nora, but it wasn't meant to be. We almost actually named Nora Lilith.
Oh. We were going to have a Lily,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, Lila, if
Well,
we had a fourth.
The reason we didn't go with Lilith, as in like Lilith Crane, Fraser's ex-wife, not after her, but
Right.
I don't know if sometimes the sibilants or the th doesn't
sure.
come through the diphthong. Is that what is it?
Yes,
Whatever.
diphthong.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, but at the time, everybody was naming their daughters Lily, Lillian, and we just thought that'd be too. The other one was if you were going to be a girl, Anthony, we were going to name you Trinity because the Matrix.
Matrix.
And I thought, man, that's going to be the dopest name ever.
Yeah.
Like after this badass chick on a movie, and but literally, like every time the base paper would come out and they'd have the birth announcements, there'd be like 15 Trinity and Trinity, whatever. So I'm like, oh God, I'm glad we missed that because it'd be 50 Trinities.
Yeah. My a coworker of mine just went on maternity leave, and she was talking about how having a kid makes you realize how many people you hate. Because you're going through all these names.
Oh,
and well, we could name him Braid, or I don't know, Robert. Yeah, that Robert De Niro. I never liked it, or somebody in personal life.
Yeah.
Oh, that
I don't want to
name
be
him after that asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, she said you go through every name. It's either who you hate or how they will get made fun of.
Oh yeah.
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 And my middle son's name is Jack. I have to stop myself when we were dropping him off at daycare.
Drop Jack.
I got to drop Jack off. Oh no! I have to drop off my son Jack. But he's 8. He has no problem. With it.
That'll come.
Oh, it'll come. Oh,
so to speak.
And yeah. But we are without directly referencing that or anything.
Yeah.
We are teaching them the power of humor and.
Sure.
At this point now, so the kids will be sitting at the dinner table, and they will tell this joke, whatever the joke is, and they'll tell it, and then somebody else wants to try. All I have to do is put 3 fingers up, and they know that means the comedy rule of 3.
Sure.
Anything after 3, it's not funny anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I go 3 fingers up, and they immediately stop.
I've started to realize that all 3 of you guys, my kids, their sensibilities with comedy was informed a lot like mine from Mel Brooks. Because from a young age, I let them watch. I basically let you guys watch and listen. I'm a pretty cool dad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let them listen and watch anything they want.
Yeah.
As long as we discuss it.
Sure.
Like you were like in 7th grade or whatever, maybe even younger when Django Unchained came out.
Yeah, and you gave me the talk. This is probably the only movie, or this is probably the most N-words you're ever
Yeah.
in your life.
But we talked about it beforehand, and we said, listen, this isn't a historical drama,
Right.
or whatever. But as long as there's a dialogue, well, I thought it was important for them to know, what real comedy is like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I joked to you the other day, I was bringing up Mel Brooks. I was recording a little something. I may still re-record it and put it out. It was like my whole idea is I want to tribute people before they die. So like when someone dies, everybody does the hashtag RIP, whatever, and it's okay. The guy's dead, and you're at this point you are doing a Twitter hashtag to bring attention to yourself.
Right.
It has nothing to do with this person dying.
Yep.
This is all about look how sad I am. That's how I feel about it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, while these people are still alive, I want to start tributing them.
Yeah.
And the first one I want to do is Mel Brooks because he's been such a towering.
Yeah.
And I brought you up in the thing I recorded because I remember when you did you were trying out for the paper in Winona,
Yes.
and I remember the opening line to your review of Blazing Saddles was, "If there's a bright center of the universe, Mel Brooks uses it to make shadow puppets."
Yeah. Yeah.
And that stuff because it's pretty apt.
Yeah.
Of his style of comedy, but
Mm-hmm.
it's also not on the nose. Sure, there's some jokes like the farting around the campfire
Sure.
or whatever, but like Mel Brooks can just loft something into the air and leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you find it funny or not, he doesn't give a shit.
Right.
He finds it funny.
Yeah.
In fact, there's on Amazon, there's a really good documentary, and I think it's just called Mel or something like that. Nora and I watched it the other day, and it's just him talking about he doesn't care whether
Right.
you think it's funny or not.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, what he thinks is funny, everybody else thinks is hilarious. But like, oh my God, we were just rolling with the Heil Myself from Springtime for Hitler. Oh my God, we were dying on the. I mean, and then just those little things. So that's what it was you know, I was tributing Mel Brooks, but then I got to thinking, you know, everybody says like the you know, you could never make that movie now. Well, I think you could. You just don't have. You don't care.
Right.
You know, okay, fine, fuck you. If you want, you don't want to laugh at it. Don't watch it. You know, and I think Mel Brooks would definitely. I mean, if he did Blazing Saddles right now, it would star Dave Chappelle, and it would bring in $1 billion. And B, whether or not the PC police came out after him, they would not care. That's kind of why, like what I was talking about. If we did the Sherlock Holmes thing,
Yeah.
you know, and do those kind of Victorian appropriate jokes.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah. I haven't seen this movie yet, but I really want to. Talking about, couldn't make this movie today, but Jojo Rabbit, where Taika Waititi plays an imaginary Hitler, imaginary friend who is Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Seems it's the same kind of thing. Well, 20 years from now, you couldn't make that movie today. Well, they made it today.
Yeah.
They made a movie where Hitler is an imaginary friend, and he's running through a meadow, and he's playing tag or whatever he's doing. I haven't seen it, but they make those. They just have to not give a shit.
Yeah.
And what I've always liked about Mel Brooks too is that he doesn't give a shit, but he does things for everybody. There's so many layers. Yeah, the fart scene. Everybody laughs at the fart scene, but there are so many lines that you don't even get until your fifth time watching.
Yeah.
No, I'm blanking on.
I've got a good example.
Yeah.
Are we awake? Well, it depends. Are we black? Yes, we are.
Yes.
Then we're awake, but we're terribly puzzled.
Yes.
The nuance in that little scene is to me is just, I mean, the looks on their faces and the way that those two, Cleavon Little and Gene Wilder.
I would have loved to see movies with them, like Wilder and Pryor did. I would have loved to seen Cleavon Little in those movies.
Sure.
He
Well, that
doesn't
was
have
supposed to be Richard Pryor. You
Right.
know that.
Yeah.
And you know, but the dynamic those two, like the scene where they're like, you know, morons.
Yeah.
And then they break up laughing and that was a genuine moment, and just the way that it just seemed like they were truly good friends. And that, you know, that's I'm trying to think of another, like, well, History of the World Part 1 is chock full of those moments. The jig is up and out of here and gone. You know.
I still to this day, anytime I bump my head or hit anything, I just doesn't matter who's around me, have that removed.
Yeah.
No one gets it. Actually, speaking of Blazing Saddles, I would always, at my old job several years ago, I'd walk up this kind of back staircase to get to my desk, and I'd usually meet somebody walking down, and I would always say good morning, or they would say good morning, and I would say, and ain't it a lovely morning? And just once, I wanted someone to respond appropriately, having seen that film.
Well,
that never happened.
No, I doubt it would, especially living in Milwaukee.
Right.
But yeah, and then that leads into, you know, salt of the earth. Morons.
Exactly.
We're working on getting a guy in here. I don't know if you remember a few years ago, VH1 had a kind of like a reality show about show choir, and it was based on one of the show choirs here in town, here in La Crosse. I can't remember what it was. I don't even, whatever. But we're trying to get the guy that was the director. He's a friend of Dan's, and I want to ask him why. There's the show choir. Who has got the balls to do the Inquisition from History of the World Part 1 as a show choir number? Oh. Now, have you been to a show choir, like high school show choir?
Yeah, I watched Glee.
Yeah, well, it's insane.
Yeah.
Just how can you imagine? It's the Inquisition.
Right.
Let's begin.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be great. Complete with the nuns.
Yeah.
The
full production of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was sitting flicking chickens, looking through the pickens, when these Goyas came banging down my walls. So, but yeah, so that I think, but again, that's one of those things where you kind of have to know a little bit about history to really appreciate that.
Mhm.
Let's face it, you can't talk him out of anything. And but the again, who cares? Mel Brooks certainly didn't.
That's foamy.
Yes, yes, it is. Young Frankenstein.
Oh yeah. Putting on the reeds.
What I love about Young Frankenstein is nobody plays that as a comedy.
Right.
I mean, it's a serious film,
Mm-hmm.
but there's just something about the wink and the nod, or
Yeah.
the preposterous situations that they're in.
And was that before or after Blazing Saddles?
After, I believe.
And I
Oh yeah, because Gene Wilder brought it to, because Gene Wilder wrote that,
Okay.
and he brought it to Mel, and Mel's like, I kind of do my own thing.
Yeah, and I almost wonder if, I can't remember the guy's name, but the guy who sang the theme song for Blazing Saddles, I wonder if the way he approached that song as a true blue
Mhm.
Western theme song, there wasn't any wink in him performing that song.
No.
It's a great song.
He turned dark night into day. Yeah.
But he approached it as a serious song. Let's expand that. Let's do the entire movie that way, and have a couple of there's obvious jokes and stuff, but yeah, I think it's always best when it's performed realistically and the comedy's just there.
And Gene Wilder had this way of just walking the edge of insanity. Like, he was so manic
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of those scenes that he would do. Like, you could see it bubbling under his eye.
Yeah.
In fact, like when Nora and I watched the new version of The Producers, with Nathan Lane and
Yeah.
Uma Thurman and Ferris,
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick. God dang it. And the scene where they're introduced, and Matthew Broderick is doing an okay version of Gene Wilder.
Mhm.
Like, he's doing Gene Wilder.
Right.
And that kind of, and it's not the same.
No.
Gene Wilder had that just the crazy eyes and the Willy Wonka, just the Young Frankenstein. My name is Frankenstein. The way, and just
Yeah.
he was just on the edge. And in that Mel Brooks documentary I was telling you about, that scene, I want to say it was in The Producers, the scene where he's gotta go off the handle when they're first introduced and everything.
Mhm.
He said that he just didn't have the energy up, so he drank like 15 cups of coffee, ate all this chocolate, and then went out and did it. And he said that's how we got those manic moments, was he
Yeah.
was just whacked out on caffeine and sugar. And nowadays it'd probably be do some Adderall and go
Right.
nuts, but
Yeah. I challenge any parent to everybody has a fond memory of the movie. You mentioned Willy Wonka.
Mhm.
Everybody
you're
has
gonna
a
say.
fond memory of that, and it's got chocolate in the title. So it's Willy Wonka and it's Oompa Loompas and it's all colorful and everything. It is a horror film.
oh yeah.
It is a straight up horror film. He's killing children, basically. They disappear. Every scene, another child disappears.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually watched the movie closely enough to confirm this, but there's some not conspiracy, but a theory that says that every mode of transportation that's introduced has the appropriate number of seats for
Oh.
the people that are there. Not, there are 10 people start,
Yeah.
and then 2 disappear, and now the next thing has 8 seats, and the next has
I'll have
6.
to check that out. That's diabolical.
Yeah, and that whole scene in the water tunnel with the
I don't want to talk about it.
no, yeah,
So, in the original movie, the Willy Wonka with Gene Wilder, do they? Because I know in the new one with the Tim Burton version, at the end you see the kids leaving, but they're all fucked up. The one kid's all stretched out, and
Yeah.
like you see them leaving the chocolate. Do
Yeah.
they do that in? So they're straight up dead.
They're dead.
Yeah.
They are dead, or well, they're dead, and now they're part of the chocolate. They're part of the
Yeah.
candy.
Or they're
The-
being eaten by the Oompa Loompas in the
Yeah.
basement.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great movie, but
Oh yeah.
we sat our kids in front of it so many times, and every time, why are we watching this?
I saw some meme the other day. It was about that. It was like, "Oh, congratulations, Charlie! You got the chocolate factory." Oh, thanks. Yeah, and there's some guys. There's some cops that want to see you. Apparently, apparently, a bunch of kids just went missing.
And slave labor.
You got slave labor, apparently. Yeah. No, that's I think that's one of the things you and I bonded over early was Mel Brooks movies,
Oh, yeah.
Airplane.
Mm-hmm.
I think that type of
Zaz.
satire in movies, that's harder to do now. Like they tried to do it with like not another teen movie, blah blah blah. But those were two. That was like getting hit over the head.
Yeah.
With a blunt object. They were trying to do Airplane, but nobody's going to do Airplane
Right.
again.
Right. I recently saw something that I asked Siri a question, and it said something about it said don't call me Shirley, and I realized I still had my phone in airplane mode. Thought that was kind of cute. But yeah, no, those movies are phenomenal, and they had the long payoffs. The guy who gets a taxi ride to the airport, and then 2 hours later,
Still sitting in
he's
there.
still sitting there. Yeah, those movies were great, and I mean we had one. It wasn't just those kinds of movies; it was really all movies. I remember one specific summer. I think you were working at the theater, and we went and saw. It was like 1939 was the greatest year of film with Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind and all these other movies. This was 1996 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
It was the year of the blockbuster.
Mhm.
I think Men in Black, maybe.
You and I saw every movie
We were in the theater once a week,
at least.
at least every single week of the entire summer. And I remember when I think you mentioned this in a recent podcast, the movie Event Horizon.
I didn't mention it, but
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was the last one, and that's what broke me. I think I was just tired. I fell asleep in the theater. Is the only one of two times I've fallen asleep in the theater that wasn't me taking my kids to a movie we've already seen. But that was a great summer.
That was the summer we went to see Prince of Egypt.
Yes.
Hungover.
Yes.
Oh God, we shouldn't have been around people
No.
half the time.
Or that particular day, each other.
Yeah. Oh man.
Are you familiar, Anthony, with Prince of Egypt?
The animated one,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Moses's mom and wife,
Yeah.
musical number, and they're walking separately, and then they meet each other, and
And they like look at each other like almost. It was kind of weird.
yeah,
But and then Travis and I just look at it like, oh,
silently,
Just-
silently look at each other and just go,
mm-hmm.
uh-huh. Yeah.
God, so
And
bad.
in a theater full of children and parents,
Yeah.
and it's two 20-somethings hungover
Yeah.
watching this kids movie.
I remember because we would go see movies usually on Saturdays after going out Friday
Yeah.
night. And if we were staying at Travis's house in Winona, Travis had this thing where he would sleep until 2 o'clock if you let him.
Oh yeah.
So we would make plans to go see a movie. And I remember one morning I went through his house and I changed all the clocks in his house ahead to like an hour before the movie started. I went in and did his watch.
Yeah.
And
While wearing it, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the one I forgot about was the one in his car. So I got Travis, we got to go. And he's like, oh, shit. So he's running around grabbing his stuff. And I'm like, yeah, look how clever I am.
Right.
And it was probably good 4 or 5 hours before the movie. But I was hungry. I wanted to go eat.
Right.
So he's running around and, shit, I can't believe I did that. And this is no cell phones. So
Yeah.
we didn't have that. So, he throws his crap on. We jump in the car and almost instantly, why does that say 11 o'clock? I don't know. Just go.
Go, man, go.
And then that's when I started laughing because, eventually he was going to, well, as long as you're up,
Yeah.
let's go grab something to eat.
Yeah. Probably went to Fazoli's.
Is that where we would go? Usually we would go to McDonald's, I thought. Or
No. I
Hardee's.
remember maybe it was years later, Fazoli's, when they first opened.
Well, I was working at Michael's when they first opened.
Yeah.
And, boy, we thought that was the...
Oh, That was the shit right there. Fast food, and it's noodles and sauce.
I haven't
Phenomenal.
been. I don't think I've been back since
Oh God, no.
since
God.
they opened.
No interest at all.
No.
I remember I went there once when I was a kid,
Mhm.
like 10 odd years ago.
Sure.
I remember, oh, sweet fettuccine alfredo for lunch, and then I like before we moved to Georgia, I was like, hey, can we go to Fazoli's for lunch? They go, oh, kind of went downhill since last time we were there. I'm like, okay, and then I've just been afraid of it since.
Well, it was all fast food, and then they tried to go like make it almost a regular dining family style because they were like real plates, and they would bring it out to, and it was like it kind of, I don't know. I just wasn't impressed the last time I went, so I just haven't been back. I mean, I'm sure it's good quality, good whatever, but
Yeah.
just in case they want to be a sponsor sometime. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
But right on. So you're gonna go see Star Wars soon, or
Yeah, we are going Christmas Eve,
okay?
4:00, and that was a bit of a what do you call it? It was a tough time getting agreement for those tickets. We all 5 of us go, and my mother-in-law is coming with, and my wife wasn't sure that she would want to see Star Wars. So maybe we should just see something else. Well, no, let's confirm first. Let's talk. Let's ask her, and she ended up being fine. But my nightmare would have been showing up at the theater to see Jumanji or whatever, and I'm sure that would have been great. And then my mother-in-law saying, "I don't know why you guys didn't want to see Star Wars." We did. But,
And now you got to get divorced.
and now, yeah. But no, we are going to see it Christmas Eve. Looking forward to it. I don't care about the reviews,
yeah.
positive or negative.
I've purposely blacked out anything Star Wars because the last 2
Yeah.
I got spoiled for me,
Oh yeah.
and
that
pisses me off so much.
I have a friend who, on Facebook, who will purposely spoil things in nondescript posts.
Oh sure.
It will say, "Yeah, went to the bar today and saw a friend and did this," and whoever is now the king on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man.
Well, that's what happened on the first Star Wars movie came out. Reddit. I'm on Reddit a lot. And they would have tags that you could see when it comes up. So the spoilers would be in the tags. So you can't help but see it.
Sure.
So I was like, crap. And I don't, and it would say, Han Solo is blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
No!
Yeah.
So the second time, I just stayed off. I was like, okay, they took away the tags, no problem. Well, they did that in the, I was purposely avoiding anything sci-fi. I was just in a news feed. And it was like, and I'm reading it, and it's like, and I'm just going to put, Barack Obama is working to pass healthcare legislation. Kind of reminds me of the time that,
Tony died in Endgame.
Exactly. And that's literally what happened in Avengers.
Right.
And I was so I've just been off of all social media. So far it's worked. I haven't heard any spoilers.
No, yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know anything about it. I have instilled in my kids that spoilers are a capital offense.
Yeah. Kind of like talking in a movie.
Yes, absolutely.
They know. They know that.
Yeah.
My daughter had seen. This one isn't as spoilerific as possible, but she had seen Frozen 2. And then we went as a family to see Frozen 2. And she said, "Oh, I wanted to tell you." Like, no, you are not going to tell me anything. I don't care that much, but I will not accept a spoiler from you or anyone else. It does not matter to me. And it isn't even, "Oh, you won't believe who's back."
Yeah.
Now that I know someone's back, my wheels are spinning, and I'm thinking, who's coming back?
Yeah.
Who? And it isn't even, there isn't somebody back
no.
in Frozen. But if somebody just says something like that, it's just a benign little, "Oh yeah, I couldn't believe he died.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Who died?
Yeah.
He. So it's a guy, and then I just start putting it together, and then it's ruined.
Yep.
And I hate it.
Even farther than that, I hate when somebody tries to figure it out while you're watching, even if they don't know the spoiler. Like, oh well, or like even if it's obvious, you know,
Yeah.
like say, oh, he's the bad guy.
Right.
Well, aren't you smart?
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
You know, you just took me out of the moment. Of course, he's the bad guy.
Right.
He plays a bad guy in every movie he's
Yeah.
in. Every clue has been leading up to that, but look how smart you are. You decided just to say that out loud and just pull me out of the moment because you want to talk about how smart you are.
You just guaranteed some romance from your wife tonight
Yeah.
because you showed her how smart you were and ruined it for everybody else.
Good for you. Good for you, sir.
Yeah.
Good
yeah.
for you.
You 55-year-old fuck. No, I had a very interesting experience. Speaking of just Marvel in general, after Endgame, after Infinity War, went to see an opening night, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Sure.
Great movie. Love those movies. They're the comedy and everything in there. And at the post-credit scene, we're in the very front, very, very front. You know, craning my neck the entire time, sitting next to a guy who obviously was his first time seeing it, mine too. And when, a spoiler for anybody out there, sorry, turning your radio down, when everybody but Paul Rudd disappears, this guy just, fuck, like, filled the theater with this sound. And luckily, it was just me and my wife, but not that, I mean, the kids have heard worse, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
They've heard the words, but he was so gut punched by this. And I was too. It sucks, but it wasn't.
You didn't see
enough.
that coming,
It didn't-
guy?
Yeah, right. but it's like, do you really need the entire theater to hear how gut punched you were
Yeah.
about that? Yeah.
You and I, was it you and me that went to see? No, we haven't been to a movie in a while, have we?
Mm-mm.
I think it was Dan and I went to see Captain Marvel.
Okay.
And at the post credit scene there where she shows up,
Yeah.
like, where's Fury? You know, and that we were sitting next to some gentlemen, down couple down from us. We were in that like the handicap road just behind
Sure.
me, so we were
Oh,
right
yeah.
in front of it. And
The best spot.
and
right there.
and the guy goes, oh, there go Captain America right there. Like he's just talking out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And I was already on edge because these guys have been talking through the whole
Sure.
movie, and as I do,
Right.
you know, I was being a smart aleck the whole. You know, I was like, oh wow, is that Captain America? You guys, you know, I look at Dan. I'm like, Dan, is that That's Captain America? This guy just said it's Captain America, and he did that thing where he knew I was taking the piss. Like he knew I was making fun of him, and he did that kind of like looked at me, and he was probably 60 years old. Like, he was an
Yeah.
old guy.
Yeah.
And he just did that kind of like you know I would, you know, just
Yeah.
how dare you do that to me?
Right.
Like when in fact you just ruined you again took me out of the
Took
moment.
everybody out of the moment. Yep.
So that's I've been getting worse and worse about that about when people because that's rude. That's to me that that's why I don't really like going to movies that much anymore.
Right.
Unless I'll go late at night or early in the morning. Generally, there's not a lot of people there. I can go sit in the corner. I don't have to listen to people because everybody thinks it's all about them now.
Oh.
I'm just like watching a movie in my living room. Why is he doing that? It's like, bitch, I'm watching the same movie you are. Shut up and watch.
Yeah,
They'll tell
yeah.
you. I guarantee you.
Oh.
And if they don't tell you why he's doing that, it's not important to the plot.
Not important, or they'll tell you in the next movie.
Yeah,
6 months from now.
exactly.
I was at my kids' winter concert. I'm in the third row, and it was just Luke's concert was first because he's in 5K, and then it was the bigger concert with all the rest of them. So it was just for Luke's concert, and I'm sitting in the third row, pretty good seats.
Mm-hmm.
There's a woman in front of me, a grandma, and she has a video camera on a tripod set right in front of me, and it's 6 feet tall.
Sure.
And it's trained on where she believes her grandson's going to sit. They're going to be standing. He comes out. She adjusts it slightly, but then adjusts it later. she's videoing the corner of the stage, not even capturing anything, but blocking my view completely. And she is doing her Christmas shopping on the iPad.
Oh my God.
She's not even watching the thing. It was, and I'm very passive aggressive. The spirit is the same as yours, but the reaction is not the same. I just say to my wife, "Well, I really hope that that whoever's being recorded is not also in sixth, or third grade, because I hope she leaves, and I hope she got a really good video." And I wanted to say these things just loud enough so that the audio of the camcorder would pick it up. I don't know if it did, but
Well, see, the way you do that is you walk up and you stand next to the camera and say that.
Right.
So they know that way. Because, I mean, they're never going to watch that.
oh no,
It's not going to be watched. That's what
No.
drives me insane. When we go to Anthony's like band concerts, Nora's still in band too.
Sure.
All you're doing is you're sitting in a dark room watching a bunch of kids on a stage, and you're looking forward, and all you see is screens.
Yep.
Everybody's watching it through their phone.
Yeah.
You're not going to watch that.
No.
You just want to post it on Facebook, and I'm not
never
going to
look
watch
at
it.
again, and nobody's going to watch it.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
No, unless someone pisses their pants or farts on the mic, and then it becomes
Yeah.
a meme, or it becomes whatever. But no, Kate and I have talked about this recently. There's a picture that speaks to me. It's this older woman, and it wasn't the Beatles, but it feels like it was the Beatles. It was this older woman. Justin Bieber was walking down a red carpet, or some famous person. She was a fan, and so were all the other people around her. And all the other people around her have their phones, and they're taking pictures. And she is just standing there with her arms kind of gently at her waist, taking it in.
Yeah.
Just enjoying the moment, actually experiencing the moment at that moment, where everybody else is staring at their phone and not actually watching.
I'm a big proponent of that. It's like, just
Yeah.
live in the moment.
Yeah.
And you'll get. When I worked at the radio station, I had a guy I worked with. He wanted to see Tom Petty in concert his whole life, and he came to Milwaukee or Twin Cities or something.
Yeah.
This was like 2 weeks before the dude died.
Oh, sure.
And I gave him so much shit because he videotaped like half of the concert on his phone. And I was like, boy, you really got to see some Tom Petty, didn't you? Through your 3-inch screen.
Right.
Well, I'm a big fan. I want to be. He's like, so that's better. The audio quality on that little phone is going to be better. It's going to get you through and it's all jumpy and, zooming in to see. Because you couldn't see him on stage, but you could see the Jumbotron. So he was zooming in on the Jumbotron.
Sure.
So now you're watching through a bigger screen with crappy audio. I just, I don't want to be that guy, but I will for stuff like that. It's like, just enjoy the moment.
Yeah. I went to a Metallica concert. I took 3 pictures just so that because I knew that my words couldn't relay
Sure.
the thing that I wanted to show people. It wasn't the band playing. It was the way they had their screen set up, the way they had their stuff.
Yeah.
And that's the only pictures I took because I just was watching the show.
I think again, it's more about people just want that dopamine hit of, hey, look, I posted it on Facebook. Look what I did, and making it all about. We were talking about it earlier. It's not about what I did. It's just I want you to know what I did.
Right.
And to me, I've been getting away more and more. Like, one thing that's been driving me nuts lately is I see a lot of people giving their takes on Facebook. Like, I can log on right now, and I got about 15 friends that are probably at home watching football, and all of them are just, who are they talking to when they write, oh, that was a bullshit call.
Yes.
Well, we're never going to win with the refs against us now. What they should have done was this, and what am I supposed to? Boy, great take.
Yeah.
Or are you hoping ESPN is monitoring your feed? So
hey, everybody, I got on ESPN.com/ whatever.
Oh, we got to hire this guy.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
Who are you talking to, pal?
Right.
Nobody.
Right. And the time sensitive. It's a variation of Vague Book, where it's just it's a time sensitive post.
Yeah.
It says, "Oh, I can't believe that happened," and I'm reading it 3 hours later on the shitter. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't either. But what was it?
Yeah.
The vague book is another thing. Enough's been said about that by other people. But
Vague book. I don't believe I'm.
I guess you never know who your real friends are.
Oh, those. Oh, God. Yeah. I see what you're saying.
And it's just an effort to. What's wrong?
Oh, yeah. It's
an effort
phishing.
for
I
other
thought you were
people.
talking about an actual website or something.
No. It's just a version of Facebook.
No,
where,
that's exactly what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. It's phishing for either compliments. I can't believe how fat I am.
Right.
Or
no, sweetheart,
no,
you are
look
beautiful.
great.
You look great.
Or that well, I guess that you never know who your friends are.
Yeah.
And some dude. I saw one the other night, and I don't know how I became friends with this guy. I don't even know his name now because I promptly unfriended him.
Sure.
But he had put out a post, "Hey, if anybody's in West Salem, hit me up. I could I could use a ride back to La Crosse." Well, 2 hours later, I guess I know who my real friends are. I got 555 followers, and nobody answered. Another hour goes by. Well, I guess I'm just gonna fucking walk. If I die, if I freeze to death, it's on you. Like, wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 500. Maybe the odds are good. Somebody was in West Salem,
Sure.
perhaps.
Yeah.
Why is it my job to get you back home? Now, if I was your friend, hey, yeah, I'm going back. I'll give you a ride. Sure.
Yeah.
He's doing it from a phone.
Right.
Make a call.
Make a call.
Uber's a thing.
Uber, taxis, anything.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Don't lay the if I die.
Right. Right.
So
that's going to be on your obituary. Yeah. He had 550 Facebook friends, but none of them cared enough.
yeah, I hope you're
So
all
he
happy.
died.
I
Yeah.
hope you're all happy. So, and I don't know who he might have saw me through the business or through the podcast
Sure.
or something and liked it.
Yeah.
Or liked my page. So I just okay, bye.
Right.
I don't need to deal with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, vague book. I like that.
Yeah.
Same thing happens on Snapchat a lot. Like, if someone goes through a breakup, it'll be
Oh,
like,
Jesus. Yeah.
yeah, like, why you still got to be talking shit about me or stuff like that. Like, okay, people who don't know the context of it don't know, like, who are you talking about?
Well, that's what they're looking for is you to
Mhm.
say, "Oh, what are you talking about?"
just want the
Yeah,
attention.
Exactly.
Yeah. To the point now where if I ever become active on Facebook, I will work for backstory, context, and my first real post, if it ever happens, will be paragraphs because I want if I want people to know something, I want them to know the whole story, which is why I'll never do it.
For me, basically, all I do is I repost memes because I
Sure.
think they're funny.
Yeah.
I'll do a thing about the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a new one up. And then everything else is, like I put one up because it was my 20th this week.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Oh, and by the way, thank you for your service.
Oh, about goddamn time you said that. Jesus, we've been here an
I know.
hour and a half.
I know.
But so I'll do stuff like that. Happy birthday, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But I don't need to air my dirty laundry
No.
to the to whoever.
Right.
To somebody from my class that I have seen twice since we graduated.
Sure.
Tina Kaiser doesn't care about what I'm doing.
No.
Maybe she is. I don't know. I haven't seen her. We just became Facebook friends the other
Oh,
day, so maybe that's
Shout out
maybe
to Tina.
Shout out to Tina. Maybe she does care about. I
Yeah.
shouldn't put words in her mouth.
Right.
but that was just the first name that came to my
Sure.
head. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't if it's my wife's birthday, I will say to her,
Yeah.
happy birthday. Others will say happy birthday to her, but I don't do anything. I can count on one hand. I liked it when somebody that I knew ran a marathon. I liked that post. And one time somebody posted a quote from Office Space, and I waited a little while and then posted or commented because we're putting new cover sheets on the TPS reports.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hey, how's it? It was just I was completing the joke kind of. That's really all I've done on Facebook outside of Was it the 15-year class reunion? Maybe.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, you were gone.
That's probably
I'm sure.
deployed, yeah.
I got drunk. No, it was the 15. You were there, and we were drunk, and I got convinced to do the 20. Or maybe it was the 10, and I
Something
got
like that,
convinced
yeah.
to do the 15. So then I just used Facebook to do it. Just like, we're doing it
Yeah.
at the Rod and Gun, and...
Yeah. I remember Kristen went to that. I didn't go.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I was deployed or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Good times. Yeah. Good times. What is that from?
It makes me think of the
sweaty balls?
the delicious dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Do you watch The Masked Singer? Have you seen it at all?
No.
The reason I say that is because Anna Gasteyer was one of the.
Oh, sure.
Spoiler alert! She
Yeah.
was the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
But it's actually that's one of my guilty pleasures. I get it off of Plex
Sure.
because I don't do cable or anything. But
Yeah.
all my pirate friends out there upload all the cool
Ahoy.
shit. But the Masked Singer, and she can sing.
Mhm.
Anna Gasteyer. I had no idea. Like they were guessing. Like the panel there was guessing. Oh, that's Anna Gasteyer. I'm like, how? Why would I would guess Maya Rudolph before anybody that could sing there? But and then there she was. Boy, she was belting it out too.
Well, remember, and I don't know how much you watched SNL, but Will Ferrell and Anna Gasteyer were the music
Yeah.
teachers who did. He was bald, and
yeah.
she was singing all that, and he was too.
Yeah.
But she.
I'm talking
she
the
could-
quality of this
Right.
show was insane.
Right. Yeah.
I guessed. I knew the last two, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody thought the Fox was Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. No, Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady,
Yeah.
yeah.
I did see that.
And then I knew it was Chris Daughtry as the dog,
Okay.
the Rottweiler.
Yeah. I've never gotten into it. I'm sure it's a
It's fun.
family-friendly show. It's something
Yeah.
that we could watch. Just never gotten into it. They did actually. We were talking before we started. SNL did. Eddie Murphy
Mhm.
last night was Buckwheat.
I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, that was all right.
They did Black Jeopardy with Velvet Jones.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what was Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood was
Yeah.
hilarious.
That was good.
And he goes about the 72-inch LED TV.
Uh-huh.
That's racist.
Yes.
That was funny.
Yeah, that was good.
The I thought the funniest one though was the digital short they did with the holiday.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
everybody's oh my god, with him Maya Rudolph was his
Yeah,
wife. And-
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because he's white? Yes.
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 Sorry, no offense. Oh no, none taken.
Oh,
I'm
none
fine.
taken. Oh yeah, the cameos with Dave Chappelle and Tracy Morgan and Chris
Yeah.
Rock, that was pretty funny. And then the one white dude comes up,
Beck
boy,
Bennett,
yeah,
Beck Bennett comes out.
that really reminded Keenan.
No,
No, dog.
Well, we're all good here.
Well-
We don't need none of that. Sorry about that.
Oh, well, I think I'm gonna split this one up into 2 episodes. I'm gonna try to milk as much of the Travis power
Yeah.
as possible
Yeah.
out of this.
Yeah.
But we've been going for an hour and 40 minutes.
Holy
Isn't
cow.
that pretty crazy?
Yeah.
So I think we've done a lot of good here today.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah. Solved all the world's problems.
Yeah, we're getting there. We'll get there. Anthony, thanks for tagging along. Looks like your head's starting to hurt again. Sinuses.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Yeah. So he hasn't been too talkative, but it's good to have another voice. I find that when there's more than like if I figured we needed somebody else here, like we're talking to somebody.
Sure.
That's why I wanted somebody else in the room.
Yeah.
More or less an audience.
More or less, yeah. I think we should try to do this again sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I usually am up end of January, early February. I come up for the Super Bowl
Oh, that's right.
just because why not?
Yeah.
It's an excuse.
I will. Well, if anybody's listening to this, you got that. Everybody knows what Travis is up to.
I should start a newsletter. Actually, maybe have you put together a
Holy
newsletter.
shit, that would be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it like dispatches from. I did. Did you have you been listening to the
Mhm,
podcast at all?
yeah.
So did you hear my dispatches from darkness or whatever?
From the large box store.
Yeah.
Yes.
That started because there used to be a website called People of Walmart,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how that's.
Walmartians is another.
Yeah, it was like that,
variation,
and
yeah.
it was my take on wanting to get on that website. So it was going in, and this was way back when I lived in Texas. I would go and literally stalk Walmart looking
Mhm.
for it. So I wrote that down, and I have another one I need to record that I think is actually better. It's when Anthony was a little kid. I took him along with me once, and I thought, man, this would be awesome if, I got charged, like by the bull or whatever, and that's
Right.
how I. So that one will be coming, but that's what I should do. The Travis Nelson Chronicles. Could read it as do it like an old 30s serial type.
Yeah.
Because there's an effect they can do on this where it's like you're talking on AM radio.
Oh, sure.
And dispatches from Milwaukee.
It's just in.
Dateline 2019. Travis Nelson was spotted walking into the office building this week, and he had a hard hat on. What's our boy in beard doing today? Dun, 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 dun. Don't forget to buy those war bonds. Dispatches from the beard.
I like it.
Something like that.
I can get behind that.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I think this has been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks
we're
for having me.
Yeah. I mean, you could have brought a little more energy. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You didn't seem too prepared to
No.
talk. So
No.
whatever you got going on there, I need you to fix that.
Yeah. It's all my whole thing.
But I know you don't. You're not active on the. Here's what you could post next time.
Oh, yeah.
Just share.
Sure.
Just share the thing.
I will.
I'm trying to get more. We're getting quite a few followers these
Yep.
days. Not that I ever want this to. I don't know. Have any illusions that this is going to be a full-time job, but it's always fun to have more people listen.
Sure.
To our
Absolutely.
ramblings. Also, we got Christmas coming up. Just like I end all the shows, I think it's important that everybody try to be nice to each other. It's kind of a weird time politically in our country. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of opportunity for vitriol. That person down the street is not your enemy, regardless of who they voted for or what they're doing. They're just people trying to make it, just like you and I are. So let's try to get in that other person's shoes, and see things from their point of view. Be nice, be kind to one another, and once and for all, just let's try to get through this crazy thing called life. That's all I got. Thanks for listening. Peace. Should we do a a Holmes and Watson?
I need some copy. What do you got in mind?
Well, I was just gonna do like a do that with the cocaine and the.
I was Holmes, right?
You were Holmes, yeah. I say, Holmes. Once again, we're on the trail of Moriarty. Kindly put down the opium pipe.
I'm using it for my cocaine this time.
Cocaine, dear God, Holmes, why?
The opium was all used up.
All used up? Just go to Chinatown.
They're busy, all those bastards, having some kind of festival.
Oh, yes. They enjoy the festivals.
They do.
With the dragons and the pups and whatnot.
Yes.
Anyway, I was getting a tincture of opium last weekend when I was down there, and I saw Moriarty.
That fiend.
Turns out he was just doing his shopping.
Well,
Nothing fiendish about that, but he
No.
had a duck.
a duck.
He had bought a duck.
An evil duck.
It was an evil duck. I mean, it was, Chinatown,
Yeah.
as one does. You buy your evil ducks in Chinatown. Anyway. I got nothing. Yes, and?
Yes, and it had herpes.
All right, I'm just going to cut to the music.
Duck herpes.
Just going to cut to the music.